Relationships can be challenging, and when avoidant and anxious attachment styles collide, the result is often a deeply emotional and complicated dynamic. Despite their differences, these two attachment styles seem magnetically drawn to each other, creating a push and pull relationship that can feel impossible to escape. In this article, we'll explore why avoidant and anxious partners find it so difficult to break up, the psychological mechanisms at play, and what steps can help break this cycle. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Kobolds to Melly's teaching for more insights into relationships and personal growth. Understanding attachment styles. Before diving into the core issue, it's important to understand what avoidant and anxious attachment styles are. These terms stem from attachment theory, which was developed by psychologist John Bowlby and later expanded by Mary Ainsworth. Attachment theory explains how early experiences with caregivers shape our relationships in adulthood. Anxious attachment. People with an anxious attachment style often crave deep emotional intimacy and fear abandonment, seek constant reassurance from their partners, worry about being too much or not enough, have difficulty trusting that their partner truly loves them. This attachment style usually develops when a caregiver is inconsistent, sometimes available and nurturing, but other times distant or unavailable. As a result, anxiously attached individuals grow up feeling unsure about whether they can count on others, leading them to cling tightly to their partners for security. Avoidant attachment. On the other hand, avoidantly attached individuals typically value independence and self-sufficiency over emotional intimacy, struggle to express their emotions or needs, feel overwhelmed or suffocated by closeness, withdraw or shut down when conflicts arise. This attachment style often develops when a caregiver is emotionally distant or unresponsive. Avoidant individuals learn early on that relying on others for emotional support is risky, so they prioritize self-reliance and create emotional distance in relationships. Why avoidant and anxious partners are drawn to each other. On the surface, it might seem counterintuitive that these two attachment styles often end up together. After all, their needs and behaviors are diametrically opposed. However, this pairing is surprisingly common due to the ways their attachment styles interact. The anxious partner. They're drawn to the avoidant partner's initial independence and emotional restraint, interpreting it as confidence or stability. The avoidant partner. They're attracted to the anxious partner's warmth, passion, and desire for closeness, qualities they may struggle to express themselves. Over time, however, the very traits that attracted them become sources of conflict. The anxious partner's need for constant reassurance feels overwhelming to the avoidant partner, while the avoidant partner's emotional distance triggers the anxious partner's fears of abandonment. The push and pull dynamic. The avoidant-anxious relationship often feels like an emotional roller coaster because of the push and pull dynamic that emerges. Here's how it typically plays out. 1. The anxious partner pursues. When the anxious partner feels disconnected or insecure, they seek reassurance and closeness. They might text or call frequently, ask probing questions about their partner's feelings, or express frustration about not feeling prioritized. 2. The avoidant partner withdraws. The avoidant partner, feeling overwhelmed by these demands, pulls back to protect their sense of independence. This might involve reducing communication, avoiding emotional conversations, or physically distancing themselves. 3. The cycle escalates. The anxious partner interprets the withdrawal as rejection, intensifying their pursuit. Meanwhile, the avoidant partner feels increasingly smothered and retreats further. This creates a cycle of pursuit and withdrawal that can continue indefinitely. Why they struggle to break up. Breaking up is difficult for any couple, but avoidant and anxious partners face unique challenges that make separation particularly hard. Here are some key reasons why. 1. Emotional dependency. For the anxious partner, the relationship often becomes a source of identity and self-worth. The thought of being alone triggers their deepest fears of abandonment, making it emotionally devastating to consider ending the relationship. Even if the relationship is painful, staying feels safer than facing the uncertainty of being single. 2. Fear of vulnerability. The avoidant partner may resist breaking up because it forces them to confront uncomfortable emotions. While they might fantasize about the freedom that comes with being single, they also fear the guilt and vulnerability that could arise from leaving their partner. 3. Intermittent reinforcement. The push and pull dynamic creates a pattern of intermittent reinforcement, which is one of the most powerful psychological motivators. When the avoidant partner occasionally provides affection or reassurance, it gives the anxious partner hope that the relationship can improve. Similarly, the anxious partner's moments of withdrawal can make the avoidant partner appreciate their presence more, creating a cycle of dependency. 4. Attachment trauma. Both partners are often unconsciously reenacting unresolved childhood trauma. For the anxious partner, the avoidant's emotional distance may echo the behavior of an inconsistent caregiver, making them desperate to fix the relationship. For the avoidant partner, the anxious partner's pursuit may remind him of overbearing or intrusive caregivers, reinforcing the desire to escape. Real-life examples. Let's look at some real-life scenarios that illustrate these dynamics. Case 1. Emma and Ryan. Emma has an anxious attachment style, while Ryan is avoidant. Emma frequently texts Ryan throughout the day, asking questions like, "Are you still in love with me?" Ryan finds these texts overwhelming and starts ignoring them. This makes Emma even more anxious, leading her to show up unannounced at Ryan's apartment to talk things out. Ryan feels trapped and withdraws further, leaving Emma heartbroken. Case 2. MIA and Jack. MIA is avoidant, and Jack is anxious. Jack constantly plans romantic getaways and surprises to bring them closer, but MIA feels these gestures are too intense. She cancels plans at the last minute, saying she needs alone time. Jack becomes distraught, accusing MIA of not caring about the relationship. This triggers Mia's need for distance, creating a vicious cycle. Steps to break free from the cycle. While breaking free from this dynamic is challenging, it's not impossible. Here are actionable steps for both partners. For the anxious partner. 1. Build self-worth. Focus on cultivating self-esteem and finding sources of validation outside the relationship. Pursue hobbies, friendships, and goals that bring you joy. 2. Learn to self-soothe. Practice techniques like mindfulness, journaling, or deep breathing to manage feelings of anxiety without relying on your partner. 3. Set healthy boundaries. Avoid over-pursuing your partner. Give them space and respect their need for independence. For the avoidant partner. 1. Practice vulnerability. Work on sharing your emotions and needs with your partner, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. 2. Challenge negative beliefs. Reflect on any assumptions you have about intimacy being dangerous or suffocating. 3. Seek professional help. Therapy can help you explore the roots of your avoidant tendencies and develop healthier ways to connect with others. For both partners. 1. Consider therapy. Couples therapy or individual therapy can provide tools and insights to navigate your dynamic more effectively. 2. Focus on communication. Learn to express your needs and feelings in a non-confrontational way. Active listening can also help bridge the gap between your attachment styles. 3. Evaluate the relationship. Ask yourself whether the relationship is truly meeting your needs. Sometimes, the healthiest choice is to walk away. Final thoughts. The relationship between avoidant and anxious partners is complex, emotional, and often tumultuous. While the dynamic can feel addictive, it's essential to recognize when it's causing more harm than good. Breaking free requires self-awareness, effort, and often professional guidance. Remember, healing is a journey, and both partners can grow individually, whether they choose to stay together or part ways. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the psychology of relationships, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Kobolds to Melly's teaching. Let us know in the comments, have you experienced this dynamic? How did you navigate it? We'd love to hear your stories and insights.